Welcome to the Amateur Football Podcast. Tabrice here. Happy Sunday to everyone who is watching live and everyone who's watching on the replay. My name is Tabrice, as I said before. And here, you know what? I'm really looking forward to this episode. We have some of the guys from Summers FC. But before I bring them onto the episode, let me go through the results and fixtures from Division 1 and Division 2 from the Southern Vets Football League. That happened yesterday. Glebe 3, Metro Gas 1, New Park Vets versus St. Johnston's, which was a cup game, 4-2 win for New Park. Old Peps 2, Sport in Santos 4, Charcoal 2, Leone Stars 5. So this is what it looks right now. Very, very tight at the top of Division 1. Sporting Santos first, Independent second, LSU Masters third, Charcoal fourth, Leone Stars fifth, Glebe sixth, New Park seventh, Johnson and Phillips eighth, and Metro Gas ninth. And the fixtures for next week, some really, really interesting fixtures. Herne Bay versus Glebe in a final, which is happening on Friday. Independent versus Charcoal could be a title decider. And then we have Sporting Santos versus LSU Masters, I believe. It's not the LSU Masters versus Glebe. It's going to be Sporting Santos versus LSU Masters. Again, could be a title decider. Let's go straight into Division 2. Results: Kawuya 4, Bow Street 0, Hollington 6, Catford 3, and Wallenham 2, LSU Legends 0. And this is what the table is looking right now. Hollington first, Wallenham second, Seagas first, Catford fourth, Kawuya fifth, LSU Legends 6, Bow Street Runners 7th, Parkwood Rangers 8th, and Norwood Lakers 9th. And the fixtures for next week: Ground Hoppers versus Kawuya in a cup game, I believe. The Legends versus Seagas and Cudham. Why is Cudham and Greenway in this? Anyway, that's probably a typo, but hey, let's move on to Martin's more pressing. Again, let me say I've been looking forward to I've been literally looking forward to this episode. Anyone that doesn't know about Summers AFC, you will, after this episode, you will know. Let me not talk too much. I just want to bring Akin, who's the manager, Nikki, who's I believe is the co-founder of the club, and Lee, who is the videographer. Welcome to the show, guys. How is everyone doing?
Yeah, all good, man.
Good, bro.
Good stuff. So you know what? I'm gonna go straight into it. Do you guys think Summers FC are the best regarding content creation in Vets football?
Let these two do
I'll leave it to Nicky. Listen, I'm a very modest guy, but I've not seen any other Vets football teams that put out content. You know, they do. There's a little Instagrams, but as far as what we do, I haven't seen anyone sort of do like what we do for Vets football. You know what I mean?
So you're sitting on the fence.
That was like, do you know what that was? That was like, what do you call it? Some mediocre answer. What Nicky's trying to say is, I'm the best at what I do, and yes, it's the best content on Vets football at the moment because we don't hear the last of it. And he always has to ask for our opinion and comments afterwards, so you can get like a nice little buzz for the week.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But to be fair, it has to be. We spend so much damn money on media equipment. There's no other question. And this guy spends hours and hours upon end editing it, trying to make it pleasing for everybody else. So
Mm.
yeah, I guess you don't really see anything else on there for vets anyway. You may see it for the young a lot, but not vets football.
Okay. And question to you, Akin. 3 words to describe Summers FC.
I don't do that. It's probably the worst thing. You gotta give me time to think about that. 3 words to describe Summers FC. Summer, Nicky, and Summer. Nah,
anyone who watches the show will understand that fully.
But nah, do you know what? I'll say 3 words to describe Summers FC. I would say,
You got to put family in there.
yeah, the one. Nah, do you know what? I would say, yeah, family is one, because it's very family orientated. Like, there's a lot of us who are related, you know, even so much so in terms of family, in terms of just friendships. Like, we've all grown up, like, you know, like, as much as I manage the team, Lee's basically my big brother, because he used to be there when I used to play football. So me and his younger brother we're the same age, so we used to play football together. And Lee was always there. So Lee and Nicky are cousins. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's a 360 thing. Everyone seems to know each other as a family-built company. Look at me, that's business talk now. family-built team. But I'll say, yeah, family is one. I would say communication, is 2. Unless you want me to elaborate later on, but I'll say communication's 2, and I'll say 3 would be just desire. Like, everyone wants to win. Do you know what I mean? Like, once we have this thing in our team that if we are losing, we honestly try our hardest to make sure that we come off that field we come off the field trying to get the win regardless. Obviously, this season's been good. You know what I mean? We've won majority of the games apart from the beginning of the season. But apart from that, desire, honestly, desire, communication, and family is a key thing for me.
We're from a culture of winning, so
yeah,
you know, it hasn't stopped. Even though we've got a bit older, it hasn't stopped.
But I've given you 3 words, but there's more to it. It's not, you know, that's me trying to be nice about it, and you know, this is probably the most tainted you ever hear me sound, because I'm usually the most expletive person in the room. But
give him a minute.
I don't want no bleeps and all of that stuff. I don't want to ruin your channel.
Okay, cool. I would actually love to know how the club was formed.
Well, we formed it originally in '98. It was just a mates team down the pub, and we all just decided to set up a team. And the way we got Summers, like the name for the team, was one of our friends. He was sort of overweight, didn't like football at all. And we just wanted him to like be a part of the team, and he wouldn't sign. So we just said, look, if you sign, we'll name the team after you. And his name's Matt Summers, and that's the name we took. We was playing for about 4 or 5 years, then folded, and then we all went our separate ways. But there's only 3 original members that still play, like, for Vets football. So I just had the idea 2 years ago, just reforming it as a Vets team, and have the 3 people, the original founders of the team. And I mean, I had the idea of filming it. I see an advert for that VO camera. I had no idea that other teams filmed their games. So I just thought, that's how we formed.
Amazing. And to you, Lee, as a kind of videographer, I mean, how hard is it to actually find that balance of capturing the content, but also making sure that you guys are there to actually win a game?
I found a good balance now, but in the beginning, very difficult, because you want to, as much as I want to win for the content of the video, I want things to be not smooth, you know, and I want to be able to capture that. So it's a very interesting approach now that I have to take. Before, obviously, I was coming just to play football or just to watch the game, but now I always have an ulterior motive when I've got the camera in my hand, you know. So it's different, but it's good. It's a good challenge to have now.
And I guess now you know instantly if a kind of phase of play, or you know, if a conversation, you think, you know what, this is an opportunity to go viral, or this is literally like a huge talking point, right?
Of course. To be honest with you, I'm not in that world of viral and whatnot, but for me, I know when something interesting is going to happen, or you understand. Just knowing the game and how phaser plays work, I know when something's coming, so I just got to be ready, you know. And
So
that's my job now.
What he's basically saying, he knows that when someone fucks up, put the camera on action.
I'm always close to him anyway, so you don't know.
You're gonna get
don't
something because they know there's no respite in the team. You can't fuck up, and they know that. This guy's the main guy. You understand? You can't fuck up. So it's just one of them things where. But it's not just me; it's everyone, isn't it? So if someone, because the team's been built now to a stage where everyone knows that we have a fight for each other, or if you make a mistake, everyone's gonna get onto you. So now, if someone makes a mistake, you can leave the camera on the whole team. You're gonna get something from someone. Someone's gonna scream at you and say, "Hey, Nicky, make sure you save that shot, or make sure you save that missed pass, or make sure."
Yeah.
So it's like the pressure's there for everyone to make sure that they're doing the right thing. Do you know what I mean? So, and also they know that if they mess up, they're not starting the following week. Simple as that's just how it goes. There's no, I don't know.
Well, I see it's a big learning curve for us because you got to think you've never filmed before. I used to do sort of editing sort of as a hobby on iMovie, like little family videos. But it was when we first formed, it was in the pandemic. So I had 6 months to learn, and his brother's a very good sort of editor. And I went round there, his younger brother, and he just told me just to look on YouTube to work out how to do things. And yeah, if I look at the videos I did 6 months ago, and I thought they was the best thing, you know, like the best I could get. If I look back at it now and I'm like, how did I think that was good? Do you know what I mean? And I'm just thinking in another 6 months, everything that I think's good now. So it's just all a big learning. And yeah, I'm just enjoying it. Like I said, I'm 47 years old. And when I first set this up, it was to win the Premier League. Now we've got promotion. We need one more point to win the league with 2 games left. So yeah, I just wanted to film my journey of winning the Premier League. Whether or not that happens next year, you know, we might lose every game, but it's just an exciting journey, you know.
And have
no, I know that, but you know,
have let you guys got any kind of pushback from the opposition, and literally how does the league take what you're doing, and do they embrace it?
Yeah, like I said, at first when we first formed, we bought all the camera equipment and we hadn't even asked the league. So I was worried that the league are going to say no and the clubs are going to just say no. Do you know what I mean? But as soon as we pitched it to the league, they said, okay, you have to get permission, this. And we've been doing it 3 years and we've only had one referee before the game. He said, have you got permission? And we said, yeah. But he said, well, I don't give you permission to film me. So we just said, oh, look, we're just going to do it as a private thing then. And we just showed it to our team. That was it. But that's the only opposition. But I've had an email, and we had an email and a phone call of the league at the end of last season, which to me, them little things just make it all worthwhile. And they just said, thank you for promoting our league. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, I was buzzing for a week off of that. Do you know what I mean?
So, footballing point of view, in the beginning, a lot of the opposition, they used to give us a lot of stick.
Yeah,
filming.
Yeah, put this on YouTube
say,
and all that.
Yeah, did you get that? Did you get this? You know, there was a lot and to be honest with you, they tried. A lot of teams were trying to be a bit intimidating in the beginning.
Yeah,
because I think they didn't really know or understand how we was gonna deliver what we was filming. But I think since we've been doing it, everyone's they've taken to it. They enjoy it. We really try and be down the line with what we're doing.
Yeah, that's how much. Yeah,
we just deliver it with a bit of comedy, a bit of humor, a bit of swag, you know, and a bit of love, to be honest with you. And I think everyone across the board can just appreciate it when you watch it. You know, I get a lot of people that say to me they enjoy watching it and they don't even like football. So it's you know.
You just have to give that fair reflection. If you lose, you lose. That's it. And to film a loss is just as good as filming a win for the channel, you know.
Well, remember one thing as well. The better the competition, the more you want to watch it.
Yeah.
If everyone's playing shit football, you're recording it. Yeah, you're like, oh, whatever. But obviously, when we're playing against opposition now, especially now, they know they're coming up against the a decent team.
Mhm.
If I'm to be
They've
honest.
watched it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
the
So they
opposition,
see, they're like, oh, this is going to be a tough game. So they come into it like, we need. They always start off at the beginning. Make sure you send us that video.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Make sure you send us that
yeah.
video because
I get texts in the week
whether
saying
they-
when you posting the video,
Yeah,
and it's like,
whether
all
they
right.
win or not that they win. No one's really beat us apart from what the one game.
Well, no, we've had two
Couple of
losses.
friendlies.
Two losses.
Down
One-
in South London.
Yeah.
I mean,
got spanked by charcoal
That's it,
5
we'll
0.
talk about that one.
I'll be talking about that.
We want to replay in pre-season. We've sort of agreed to it,
We
and
didn't
yeah.
have the players. We didn't have the players. But
Wow.
yeah, like I said, it's just you know how it goes. You played football yourself, so you know when you've had a tough game, you want to watch it back. You want to see how good the team was or how well you played. So now people just like teams come play against us and they want it straight away. If the camera's not there, they're like, "Oh, you guys ain't recording today."
Yeah,
Do you know
we
what I
get
mean?
that a lot.
They
They
expect it
want
now.
it. They
Yeah.
want it. But I think most of the pushbacks probably more so from me because of this guy. Because he's meant to be a starting striker, but wants to do all the camera work, but then doesn't want to warm up. And then within 5 minutes, he's pulled up with a hamstring injury or something. So I'm always shouting at him and saying, "Look, we've got enough cameras on the pitch. Like, we don't need an extra one. It's fine." But yeah, it is
Yeah,
what it is.
I've got a bit of a perfectionist now, so it's just everything's got to be right. I'll have to press record on the cameras. I won't let anyone else do it just in case.
Yeah,
And it's
do it
just
Wow.
OCD big time.
I mean, literally, I just want to say, like, I just love your content because I think what it is for me, like anyone can record a football game, like you can use a smartphone and whatnot, but it's the narrative. It's the fact that you guys are serious about your football, but also you're not afraid to actually take the piss out of yourselves. And literally,
We can all play.
yeah, and you know what, as like grown men with responsibilities, and black men as well. Sometimes sometimes we can let our ego get in front of so like many other things, and honestly, it's just so refreshing just to kind of see people just actually having a laugh and just having fun with it. And honestly, I'm just in stitches. I literally have to rewind back clips so I can just watch it again. It's amazing.
I think there's an art to it because the reason why I say there's an art to it, it's not just me, it's everybody. So it's almost like having a conversation, everyone feeling like we can be real with each other. So if you feel like you can be real with each other, then if I'm bantering you, you're just going to take it as banter.
Yeah.
Yes, we've had the people that can't do the banter and, might give it, a little bit here and a little bit there. I'll be honest with you, like, if you can't take the banter, but you want to be the person that gives it, you're not going to be a part of this team. It's not just about the football. Do you know what I mean? It's like we all come out on a Saturday afternoon. Like we've all got kids, we've got family, we've got things to do. Like if you're gonna come out and just be a soppy old, do you know what I mean? Like whatever you want to call them, like don't do that. Don't do that. You know what I mean? Go do that somewhere else because that's one thing I don't stand for. And I feel like it starts off from, I'll say, obviously everyone knows Nicky's the call it the chairman, the owner, or whatever. It all comes from Nicky. Starts off with me, starts off with him because he's the first one they see when they turn up with the camera. Do you know what I mean? And the first thing he's gonna do is get you buzzing and get you awake and say, "Oh, what are you doing?" Like, "Oh, why are you late?" Or da 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 da. So you have to respond.
Yeah, there's a lot that you don't see.
Yeah, there's a lot that you actually
I
don't
do.
see, like
To prompt stuff.
to
you
prompt
know?
a lot of stuff. So it's like we have to. It's almost like leading by example, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Because everyone can take the piss out of me in the team. Like I will let you take the piss out of me and I'll give it back. Or sometimes you watch the games where some players will come over and say, "Hey, what the heck you did?" I'll shout back. We'll shout at each other, and then I'll cuss them afterwards and just take the mick out of them. And then next minute, we're all laughing.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Nothing's ever taken personal. It's
There's a good
football.
camaraderie there.
Yeah, last year we played and we weren't really doing too good and I weren't enjoying my football. But like this year, since we've we've got some superb players in pre-season and where we've got that winning mentality. And I don't want to blow smoke up his ass, but since we've got him, since we've got him in, he's just. I tried to manage. I tried to manage for 3 months. I'm too nice. If he ain't played, I've got to play him. But he's like, no, he's making a mistake. I can't. There was a stage of this season I couldn't even get my own team for about. And I'm still on the borderline now.
No, do you know what it is? it's understanding in it. It's knowing, okay, cool. Like, we're here to play football, right? And we're here to have fun and everyone coming out. But if we lose, everyone's like, oh, why didn't we play the best team? Do you understand? And the people that are saying, why didn't we play the best team, are the ones that usually come on the pitch and just do shit anyway. So if you're saying that, go on the bench then. Do you know what I mean? You might as well go on the bench because you're saying, why didn't we play the best team? Or why didn't we do this? Why? All right, because we was trying to make sure everyone got a game.
Yeah.
But now it's like, okay, cool. You're all complaining about that. Let's play the best team. Right? Meaning that if you want to get into the team, you got to make sure you do the work to get into the team. Do you understand? And one thing that I always do is because I remember my days when I was playing football, and Lee will tell you this, like
I was lazy.
Not even that. I could be having a great game, but I'll get shouted at for one little thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, and you know how it goes in football. Like when the manager likes you, they'll pick on you the most, innit? Because they think that you're the one that can take.
So that means you like me the most. You pick on me the most.
I don't know about that one. That one's but like, you know, it's just one of them things where, because I used to get that a lot, when I'm like looking at grown men, I'm like, I can't talk to them like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, no one's Superman here. Like, you got to treat people with respect in order to get what you want, like what you want them, in order for them to do what you want them to do. You got to be able to communicate with them in a certain way where they understand it and they trust what you're saying. Even though you might have to repeat it like 4 or 5 times, but they get it. If you get certain managers that will say something once and expect you to listen once, yeah, and then when you make a mistake, they just start screaming at you. No, tell them about 3 or 4 times. We're old now. We're stuck in our ways, isn't it? We're not young. You can't just tell us do something like this now. We've never played football before, and then all of a sudden we do it because that's how you taught us. No, it's not like that. No, you've got to like just keep badgering on. Obviously, if you mess it up like 6, 7 times, I'm going to take you off the pitch because a mistake is a mistake, and it's not helping the team. It's not like me. It's the team. Do you get what I'm saying? And I think he'll say to me sometimes, "Oh, calm down. Da, 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 da." Do you know what I mean? Because he knows me well. Do you know what I'm saying? So he'll be like, he can see where when the top's about to go. So he'll say, Axe, relax, bro. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, all right, cool. And he'll say, I know Mickey's done this. Don't have to shout him. And I'm like, no, fuck that. I don't care. I don't care. Yeah, basically. So he's there to kind of like just keep it calm. But you need that. You need that sometimes. You need that all the time, not sometimes. It's just life, innit? You do need it. But I think we just got, it's a good bond with the team. It's a very good
definitely
bond within the team.
Best team I've played for, like in talent wise, but in just like in the change room, I have to get the load up everything like 2 hours before I even go to the game and get there early, set everything up. I actually enjoy it because I do a lot with my daughter. Like she's only 8, but she enjoys it just as much as it's a day out for us. You know what I mean? And then when we get there, all the other kids are there, and it's just like it's a massive family thing for me, and it's just a good day out.
Okay, Akin, I want to kind of delve like into your kind of literally management process. I mean, what's like been the most difficult decision you've had to make this season, and is there one player in your team that frustrates you? And
I'll be out.
You know what? The funny thing is, I think difficult decision. I'll be honest with you, but I think we've built such a good team. I can't even say it's a difficult decision because the boys even say to me, what they say last time we changed room, actually don't even manage. And I said to them, I don't need to manage. That's why we've got a good bunch of boys together. If you've got good players, you don't need to manage. You just make sure everyone's in the positions they need to be. And if they do pull out or they fall off a little bit, you wait, come back up, you gym back up to make sure they need to get back to what they were doing before. Do you know what I mean? So, and then they was all like, oh, whatever, man. No one could respond to that. You know what I'm saying? Because why do you need to manage? Well, like, Arteta may be screaming and shouting because he needs to manage them. Pep just sits there all day. Not saying I'm Pep, but I'm just saying he just sits there all day. But I definitely don't sit there all day. They can tell you that for free. But yeah, I'll say difficult decision. I don't really think there is, I don't know, difficult decision. No, I don't really find them difficult because if I need to take someone off, I just take them off. I don't really care. Like, it's not difficult. Like, we haven't had a game, we haven't had a tough enough game to say I've had to make such a decision like taking you off to put on some, like, I don't know, I don't think I've had to. Like, what we have almost balances itself out.
We've got a good thing at the moment. Really good thing. So
wait till next season. Ask me that question
Yeah.
next season when we're in the
Because
Prem.
there's a big
It might be a
jump
little
up
bit
in
harder.
in
See what I'm
levels
saying?
from the first to the Premiership. A massive.
And you said, what was the other question? Frustrating.
Yeah.
player?
Yeah.
Well, I mentioned Sama earlier. Yeah. And funny enough, I grew up with Sama, so he's frustrated. He's been like that my whole life, so he's just always going to be frustrated. Nick can be very frustrating because all this guy cares about is his goal tally. Like all he cares about is stats. You know what I mean? Actually, no, that brings. Nah, it's a good question. I'll come back to the first one. I think the most difficult decision I made was taking him out of playing up top by himself and putting him on the wing. That was a difficult decision. You know why? Because the way Nicky plays is goal. I just want to score, go in. So taking him out of that position, put him into a wide position, expecting him to drop back, help the midfielders out, and then be able to go forward again. And obviously have a first touch to be able to hold the ball, play passes backwards. Whereas Nicky's just used to having the ball played over the defenders, over the top, and he's just off because he's quick. So that was a difficult decision because at the time I was like, I don't know if it's gonna work, but with enough like encouragement and just continued communication, he'll get it. And also because I know that I've got two core midfielders. I'm not going to say their names at the moment because obviously they'll get gassed, but we all know who they are. No, I know them too well. I've got two core midfielders that I know that if Nicky's out of place, one of them is always going to G him up and be like, yo, Nick, and talk to him. And the other one's just going to cuss him and be like, Nick, what the fuck? Do you understand what I mean? So that helps out on the pitch having them two because obviously they know me well enough to know how I like to play football and I want everyone to play. So they basically will manage everything on the pitch and they go at each other like bloody freaking, I don't know, Laurel and Hardy, to be fair. But yeah, so that's that. But I think, yeah, like apart from that will be, that decision was probably the hardest decision because it took a while. And this guy was gassing out after. Remember, like the first 10, 15 minutes, his hands were on his hips.
I'm 47. Come on, give me a break.
What every week?
Exactly. But what's happened now is what you get from Nicky is, and I'll say it in front of him, is like now he still gets the goals, right? But he's also playing with the team.
Yeah.
Rather than playing for the team, there's a difference. Do you know what I mean? Playing for the team, he's like, I'm here with you guys, but I'm just gonna do what I need to do. But now you're playing with the team and like integrating with everyone else, transitions of play, like he's getting involved, and you see Nicky drop back now without having to say nothing. Do you know what I mean? And you're still up there.
Yeah.
Goal tally. To be fair, I've dropped him plenty of times and he's still in the top 3. Do you know what I mean? But obviously that's because when he comes on the pitch, all he does is just want to score. So, but yeah, I'll say that. But yeah, frustrating. Sama is very frustrating.
Yeah.
Aaron can be very frustrating because Aaron has this leadership quality where when he's frustrated on the pitch, he wants to take out on everybody. And then wants to run the team. So that's kind of frustrating in a way. But at the same time, I'm saying that he's also humble enough and modest enough to know, oh, snap, I've done that.
He's a strong character.
Very strong character.
He'll apologize. Like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. But that's just him, innit? That's his character. He's used to that. Hence why they call him the general. But, you know, you can't have 2 generals in one team.
Okay. And you know what? Just kind of hearing how you've described Nicky now. And literally, you know what? You can kind of take it as a compliment, but like also as well, you can kind of literally take it as a kind of constructive criticism. It's kind of almost like the Superman syndrome because Nicky, you like said at the beginning, like I don't really like people like touching the camera and literally I've like got to do this and you know it's all about how I need to set up and literally how the kind of gaffers explained how you play on the pitch as well, how you've like improved your kind of team ethic more so than an individual performance-based situation. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. And so, I mean, you've like kind of said that you're a perfectionist. I mean, and actually, this is a question to yourself and Lee about being a perfectionist and like also being consistent with your content. Why do you think not a lot of Vets teams are doing the content, the social media content like you guys?
I don't know. Like I said, when I started it, sort of 3 years ago, I had, I'm 47 years old. I'm not really into sort of Instagram at the time, YouTube, and it was just a platform for me to put on for our players to watch the games back. That was purely what it was for. And then it was about 3 months into it, my cousin, his brother, who's another player for us, he got me onto the YouTube teams like SE Dons, and so I watched that, and it was in lockdown, and I watched one episode and I was just hooked, and I watched every single episode. I was like, oh, right, so I'm not the first to have this idea. And yeah, like I said, now I sort of watch all the YouTube teams, just like I said, because I love the content and I can understand exactly how much effort they've put in, like just little bits, like little special effects. I was like, oh yeah, that's good, you know what I mean? But we try and just do it unique from everyone else. Like everyone else, we're not getting contracts now. We are over the hill, but we can all still play. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think, like I said, for me, why other vet football teams don't film, I don't know. I know the last 6 years though I've seen an explosion in sort of talent. Like we've got like 34-year-old players asking to sort of join our team. We're playing at a non-league level, and it's gone crazy the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, but let me say that I think it takes a lot of time, dedication, effort, and skill. To be honest with you, it's not something. Anyone can do it. Anyone can apply themselves and start a channel, get the content, put it together. It's easily done, but the way that Nicky does it, that is a skill. I have to be honest. And I think that a lot of people have maybe tried it and realized that it's not as easy as some people make it look. So yeah, I think it's just like anything. If you want something, you got to put the time and effort into it. And I think really that's the only reason why it hasn't been done so much, is just because maybe no one's seen it being done, if that makes sense. So maybe we're the ones who's going to open up the door for many more to come.
Okay.
So go ahead. You lot evaded on one thing. One, they said time and effort, but then another thing is characters. Mm-hmm. And I remember saying this to you, it's like with Summers, we have characters, but characters that, like you said earlier, everyone can get onto each other and no one's going to just blast off and start fighting each other and stuff like that. So, and people don't mind that being seen on camera. Do you understand? You've seen content where people put their shirts on backwards. Like, do you understand what I mean? Or stupid stuff but people don't mind it. You sit in a group.
But that's because of the understanding that we have.
So that's where the communication thing kicks in as well. So people know what's going to happen. They know what to expect. Whereas you go to other vets teams, it's like, I ain't got time for all this shit. Like, go away. Do you know what I mean? Or they just don't want to be shouted at on camera, or they don't want people saying it's their fault.
And to be honest with you, in the beginning, even our own team, they were a bit like, like we felt it. Like
I personally,
you doing this filmy shit again. Like,
I personally believe
that
I was a scapegoat when it came to this thing. Yeah, I was used as a scapegoat because one day I sat at home, I saw one of Nicky's videos, and it was like Atkins chattering. I was like, there's many clips of me chatting shit. And the thing about me is, I'd turn up on the day and I'll just chat shit on purpose, just to kind of make everyone laugh and be happy and whatever. And this guy's filming it and he's putting it up on Instagram. I'm like, half of them, I'm like, I ain't even say nothing.
That's the funny thing of it.
But it's things like that. But then people seeing that, it's like, okay, cool, this is fun. I remember your brother saying to me, Ax, keep doing it. I was like, what am I doing? I didn't realize. Do you know what I mean? But it's things like that. And then now you've got, like I said, you've got other characters of the team now. You've got different people. But I think from the beginning, when I first walked in, I was on that vibe of, like you said this before as well, when you mentioned black boys or black men doing something. I was on a vibe of, I remember coming and seeing the team when Dwayne first asked me. And I'm not going to lie to you, I saw a mixture of black and white guys. And I was like, yeah, I'm coming. Because I know it's going to be lively. I know it's sometimes when you have the mix, it's sometimes, and I'm not saying it's just that it's not all black men or all white men or whatever. I just looked at it and I thought, you know what, this is a good mix to be a part of, because then you can pick from other people and other cultures and other generations really, because a lot of them are a lot older than us.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So it was just good to be around it and see that everyone kind of just gels in. It's not like there is no ageism, like, oh, Redgrave's the oldest person in the team, so we've got to treat Redgrave like that. Redgrave gets it as bad as one of the youngest. Do you know what I mean? So, and it was just good to see that everyone was just cool with that. Do you know what I mean? It did take time. It did take time. It took a lot of phone calls from this guy. Like, oh, why is the team not doing this and why is the team not doing that? But it all comes with winning.
Yeah.
The more we win, the more fun we have, the more everyone now starts to enjoy it a little bit more. And do you know what I mean? But it all comes down to just like, there's no egos. Let's put it that way.
There can't be any egos in this team.
We do it with like an open heart. We don't. Nothing we do is like, you know, with the malice behind it. And I think that's really, because even there's been times where I've said, done, filmed things and people haven't necessarily agreed with it. And we've had a conversation. And when I've explained to them my point of view, you know, like we come to understanding that it wasn't meant like that. You know what I mean? But then it makes me mindful going forward as well of how to navigate things, you know what I mean? Like, you know, so it's all, as Nick said right at the beginning, it's a learning curve, but it's not easy. It's really not easy. I think with the skills that we have, we make it look easy, you know, but it's really not easy.
Yeah, so true. Could like you guys just turn on your room light, because you guys are becoming a little bit dark. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Much better. Yeah, definitely.
To be fair, it's because you can't see me in it, because these two. That's how I put on a white t-shirt. Put a white t-shirt, brush my teeth.
You guys mentioned charcoal. How good with charcoal, and again, do you think the standard of the Essex League could actually compete with the teams in South?
Charcoal weren't good. I'm joking.
I'm gonna clip that.
I know, obviously from a manager standpoint. Did you play that day?
Yeah, I got injured after about two minutes, isn't it?
Shock. Anyway, from a manager standpoint, watching the game, they were good, but
there's no denying it.
They were good. But here's the thing:
quality.
It's not. I don't want to sound like I'm making excuses, but on another day, like, it would have been a completely different game. Like, we were missing key players.
Right. Anyone who knows football knows when you go away, especially far, and the weather's not good, you never get a full team. You're never going to have the team that you want to start. And that's what we felt victim.
Bottom line, they were the better team.
They were the better team. 100% the better team on the day, but we capitulated as the game went on. Like, at the beginning, I'm sure if you speak to them, they'll say, the midfielders were like the central midfielders were on point. Our main striker of the day at the time got injured within 2 minutes. We had to put on a goalkeeper replacement as a striker.
Yeah,
central midfielder was playing in.
One of our central midfielders was playing as a centre back. Yeah. Then we had a right back at the time who weren't a right back, should have been a centre back, but then he pulled off after he got spun.
Bag of excuses.
That's all I'm hearing. I'm like, come on, guys, we got beat. They're probably listening to this, pissing themselves.
My thing is, you know what it is? Like I said, they were the better team of the day.
100%. Yeah.
And we said straight away, if you speak to the boys,
don't worry.
Team,
next season, come to our pitch. Yeah.
Speak to the boys in our team, and all of them is like, we need a friendly against them. We need a friendly against them. We need a friendly, because a few of the players have come from semi-pro teams, non-league teams. Like, there's charcoal players that I know personally that come up to me thinking that I still play. Like, why are you not playing? Like, surprised that I'm not playing. I'm like, guys, my legs ain't like what they used to be. But do you know what I mean? Like, it's one of them things where, like, we didn't know what to expect on the day. We travelled far. It was terrible. The weather was...
And the pitch was...
They
done it on purpose. They had their good pitch at the front. And they put us on the back pitch.
I know. I know the pitch.
But going back to your original question, I think the Premier League because I think we played I played against Independent for Redbridge last year, and I think we beat them 3-2 in the London Cup.
In the London Cup. That was away, wasn't it?
Yeah. I actually played in that game,
Ah.
and a couple of our other players, but
Ringers.
yeah, we beat them 3-2, but they was a good team. But like I said, the Premier League in the Essex division, they've got there's just that will 100%. You know, they've got all ex-West Ham. They've got, like you said, the players that Charcoal got is what the players have in the Premier League, which is the standard is phenomenal.
Okay.
So that's why, like I said, we need to have a good team to compete, you know.
And just kind of looking at your league table now. So you just need 1 point to actually
that's misleading. We're on 39 points, and we played because the other team that was meant to play Saturday pulled out. So we played 16 games.
Okay.
And we're 3 points ahead.
Also, have in mind, we played a team that dropped out of the league. Asiana's at the bottom.
Yeah.
We played them first game, we beat them. Second game, they pulled out, right?
Yeah.
The second game, they pulled out, whereas everybody else didn't. Oh, not everybody else, but the top 3 or 4 teams didn't even play them once. They just got given 6 points.
Yeah. No, they got given 3.
No, they got given 3 points.
But Royal Alexandra, they've got 1 game voided, so they've only got 1 more game to play. So the most they can get is 39. We're already on 39. Okay. If they win next Saturday, then their goal difference will be better. So we need to get 1 more point in our last 2 games. So we've actually played 16 and we're on 39, but they haven't updated the table yet.
Okay. All right.
But like I said, Royal Alexandra, a very good team. Like you said, it's, you know, Spa Park, very good team. You know, there's a lot of talent in our league.
Royal Alexandra was actually our bogey team at one point because we used to play them.
Could never beat them.
And they always used to beat us. But obviously, recruitment, all that stuff, getting new players in, they struggle to play us now. Which is the thing with a lot of the teams in the league, man.
So, you know, of course, you know, I literally want to kind of touch upon our kind of own journeys. And of course, you know, I still want to relate it to football. Have any of you been through certain experiences in life that's changed your perception about your own life? And literally, how has football helped you cope with like certain situations that have kind of gone on?
Well, not to get too personal, but on a kind of same issue but side issue, setting up summers, I believe that it definitely has helped. I can see that for a lot of the guys to come to the football on a Saturday, it's like a natural high. It's a natural buzz, you know. It can only be a positive thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, well,
like I said, when I first set this up, if you watch our very first video, like 2 or 3 years ago, I haven't seen it in a couple of years, but I do remember actually saying that we've set this up. I just wanted it friends and family because I've got like 4 or 5 cousins. You know, you get to see maybe 3 or 4 times a year at family events and maybe have the odd text and that. But now we get to see each other every single week. I get to see my nieces, my nephews, they get brought over, and it sort of brought that family back from like the 80s and 90s where you all used to go over your nans, everyone was there. And we've just sort of brought it back, and it's sort of you don't see photos like on Instagram. You get to see them live growing up, you know, and you get that bond back, which for me is just that's the main thing I think for me.
You know, through experiences, you know, being young black men, we don't have many positive things that are just there for us, outlaid for us, and this definitely is one of them. As all the reasons Nicky said, like for me personally, our family has definitely come together over the last couple of years. Like my kids and his kids know each other just like how we knew each other when we was little. You know what I mean? And do you know what I mean? Just those little things, for me personally, that it changes a lot in the grand scheme of life. Do you know what I mean? For us.
I think one thing we all kind of forget is a lot of friendships when we were younger were made off the back of football. As guys. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously things are different now, but we all know where we came from, how we built ourselves. Like we all started playing football at the age of 9. Do you know what I mean? Like, and a lot of people that we're playing football now with, we've known each other since then.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? Or maybe even when you got into like a bigger team at the age of 15, teenage years. So, you know, it's good to be able to say, all right, cool, I'm not going to see you guys every day, but I know I'm going to see you on Saturday. Because everyone lives further away and does this and does that. But it's like, it's refreshing sometimes to see them faces, because it's weird, because you might be, like, you could be going through something, or you're stressed, or you're busy, but you know, these are people you don't see often. So I'm not going to relay that stress onto them. I'm going to have a good time, and it helps you to kind of release and relieve.
Yeah. I wouldn't forget about your problems. Just
do you know what I mean? Because,
Yeah.
or sometimes you can easily just have a conversation and be like, yo,
exactly.
you know, like I've done it many a times. Like, you know, like I'll tell the guys, I say, look,
Today,
so and so, this is busy, I've got to do this. And they'll say, no, don't worry about it, man. It's cool. And then you just forget about it, because you've got that, you vented now. You got it out of your system. So I think it's just one of them things that it is a good, how would I call it? A good cure for like
avenue to vent.
Venting, like when it comes to mental state, and just kind of being able to, it's a brotherhood, isn't it? You've just got a brotherhood of people that you can chat to.
And also I find anywhere we go and any match we go to, someone in the team knows someone else in the other team.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Anywhere, like, you know, so it just shows that there's just something, and that only brings more positivity, because once one person knows one person, it seems like everyone knows each other.
Yeah.
You know, and that, I think that in itself, we take for granted those little things, you know, how much kind of light that can give people or a person, do you know what I mean? Like, or a group of people, or, you know, it definitely, this team has done a lot for me personally in little ways, but magnified into big changes. Do you know what I mean? Like, so no, it's all positive,
Yeah. Nick, question for you. What's the 3 biggest tips you can give to any editor that's like looking to edit football content?
Dedication, and having an understanding wife. That's the main thing. I've got 3 kids, and boy, the amount of hours I spend on this computer, as well as uploading, charging all the cameras. Like I said, most YouTube teams have got multiple people to do this stuff, but it's just Lee with the camera, because he's just got an art of making anyone feel comfortable. Like when Lee wasn't there at first, when he was just getting started, I used to have to take the camera for the sideline, and I'd just jab it in someone's face and say something funny, and you realize it's a proper art. Do you know what I mean? So that's why me and him have sort of,
which makes it easier for you to edit.
Exactly, yeah. And then obviously Akin bringing the players in and his personality, it just works. It just fits. So,
and actually, question to you, Lee. 3 biggest tips to any budding videographer that's looking to start filming for their football team.
Invest in a good camera. I don't know. Just love what you do. I don't know about the 3rd one, but yeah, I think love what you do. It's not something I've always loved taking pictures, and I love kind of videography as a whole.
Memories.
But yeah,
so I'm big on that.
But since, because I had an ulterior motive when I started this, but since I picked it up, I just got a love for it, and I'm there every week. Like I'm playing. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, just love what you do. That's my main thing, I'd say.
And Axe, I mean, what can we do as a community to actually enhance and actually bring more awareness to Vets football?
I honestly would say it's just like one thing Lee said was just enjoying it. Do you understand? Being able to show the enjoyment, because one thing we do is we say, especially as a community, we say, I ain't got time. I need to make money, or I need to do that. But here's the thing, it's like I'm the busiest. I like to believe that I'm the busiest guy ever. And I'm sure some guys will say, yeah, you do too much or whatever. But that Saturday, these lot will say, that's why you're always late. It's not just because I'm just late. I'm doing other things, but I just won't say nothing. I'll just try and get there as early as possible, but I'm always late anyway. Do you get what I'm saying? But sometimes it's fun being late. So, but
Camera gold.
it's
Camera gold, yeah.
It's basically knowing that if in terms of getting the community involved or telling the community, look, come on, let's get involved, let's do this. It's showing them one thing is that Vets football isn't just for, like, without me saying it and sounding a certain way, it's also for, like, it's for every community. Because I remember when I was younger and you thought of Vets football, I'm not gonna lie to you, I just thought the white boys.
Yeah.
I just thought like, oh, it's just the grown old white guys that go to the pub and do you know what I mean? That's what I used to think Vets football was. Because the ones that used to talk to us about it was like, you know, like
That's
our
what it
managers,
was,
our like our friends, the players that we played with, their dads saying, oh,
Yeah.
so that's what we saw because obviously our dads went at our football games, not our dads, but not all of our dads were at our football games to be able to say, oh yeah, I played. To be fair, they were probably working through jobs anyway, but it's just one of them things. So it's just that knowing and being able to tell people, look, we're here, we're doing it. Like I say to a lot of players now, hey, come play football. I'm managing a Vets team. They say, who's? I say, someone's like, what? Vets?
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, guys, it's a good standard, you know. And then as soon as I say, oh, my brother plays for the team, like Brian plays for the team, Aaron plays for the team, they're like, huh?
Yeah.
What? Do you know what I mean? But if I said to them like, oh, Teddy, like one of my mates who's white, oh, Teddy plays, they'll probably not, yeah, whatever. But just for the fact that they know that there's people like them playing with these lot, and they're enjoying it and they know the standard, like, all right, cool, let me get involved. Like I've got guys now that will say, like you said, I'm 34 X, man, I want to play for your team. Do you know what I mean? I get it all the time, like I want to play, and I'm just like,
change completely.
Yeah. You know, now it's starting to change because they can visually see it. Do you know what I mean? They can visually see it online. They can see that, all right, cool. You've got me, you've got Lee, you've got Nikki, you've got Morton, you've got Danny, Matt, you've got Neil. So you've got a very good mix of people doing it, and we're doing it harmoniously. It's not like, this one's got this motive and that one's got that motive. No, it's like, cool, this is where we are. I'm managing, you're editing, you're filming, boom, 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 XYZ, no one steps or crosses the border. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when someone does step across the border, I'm always there to say, fuck off, because that's just me. He knows, he'll come to me and say, we should do this today. Nick, just concentrate on being a striker. I don't care, leave me alone.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? It's just one of them. I can't tell him and say, oh, go and film this. Like, it's not my place to do that. Do you get what I'm saying? But at the same time as that, we still advise each other. And
100.
if you do say something, we still take it in. But it's your
We
decision.
all can speak our mind to one another.
But it's still your decision what you record. It's your decision what you edit. It's my decision who I play and how we play. Do you know what I mean? So, but it's never just like me personally. I love taking everyone. I like making everyone feel inclusive. So I feel like for the community, if they know that it's an inclusive thing, you're not just going there and it's someone's team and you just got to go and play and you're not going to have any fun with it or there's no camaraderie with it. There's nothing. Then you know what it's like with our community. They're just going to be like, I'd rather go make money. This is Saturday, or I'd rather just go out with the lads and go, like, do you know what I mean? Go rave and go to a house rave or whatever. Do you know what I mean? So it's just letting everyone know that, look, we're here to have fun. We're here to enjoy ourselves. And we're here to basically stay fit and hold on to the old days. That you know what I'm saying?
But I mean, I think something that helps is that, especially at the elite stage, there's a lot of older players that are looking after themselves, and it does trickle down into the amateur game now. Again, like you're looking at players who are 36, 37, even in their 40s, that are still as quick, if not quicker now. And you know, if you've kind of got the footballing IQ, that will never go. And kind of get into those guys early enough to literally enhance the game. Because 100%, when like someone mentioned Vets football to me, I thought that was walking football. I genuinely thought it was walking.
My brother, that's what my brother called it before he played. He was like, he saw me playing and he thought, he was like, why is everyone, remember when I first played? I run through, you remember that? And I set up the goal. Was it you were tired? I run through him and set him up, but obviously I was so tired I come off because I played football. My brother watched a video and asked, how the hell you at your fitness running through? That's walking football. I was like, no, trust me, it wasn't that easy. It just looked like it. It looked like that. But
you managed to persuade him to come over.
Then he kept saying, I was like, how they come? He was like, oh no, man, I can't play that football, man. That's slow. It's like, I'm gonna try my hand at playing Saturday still and da 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 da. Played one game and he was like,
I gassed him up on the edits anyway. I made him feel special.
It was Brian, and like, you know, once you get a good squad together and everyone, and I think that's what needs to happen with every team, innit? Everyone's, I know because it's a Saturday thing and everyone's coming out on the Saturdays and everyone feels like, oh, we should all be playing. It's still got to be like competitive. Like, you're only going to get more people wanting to play it if they know it's competitive. It's competitive. If they feel like it's a Mickey Mouse league, they're not going to show up. Might as well just go play 7-a-side.
Yeah.
On a Wednesday or Tuesday. But when you know it's competitive and you're watching games and you're seeing the likes of Brian and the likes of Ade, you're seeing the likes of Joel, Aaron, do you know what I mean? Yourself, Ty, Chris, whatever. And you're thinking, oh, them guys are making look like they're making football look mad easy. I actually want to play against them. Hey guys, let's put a team together. There's a couple good teams that we're gonna enjoy playing. Like, we've all finished playing football now. We're non-league players. We don't play football no more. Let's put our money together and do something and go play against these lot. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's how it is. Remember when you was in the park back in the day, you're playing football, a bunch of people see you playing like, hey, can we have a match?
Yeah.
Do you want to game? Remember,
yeah,
everything, it's a 360. Everything's a free. We get older, but we still want to do the things that we was doing when we was younger. Do you know what I mean? But no one thinks they can actually do it until they see it. So I feel like now that we've got our team, I'm not saying it's just our team, you've got Charcoal, you've got what's the other team that battered us in South? What are they called again?
Oh, Santos.
Santos.
You're not supposed to remember that.
No,
He was going to bring it up.
Santos. He said that with bare confidence, that pure confidence. I like that, man. Hey, that was an off day as well. Mickey was in goal.
No one likes traveling down south, man.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. Like, once people see, like, Santos now, we play them, they beat us. Like, I'm raring to play them again and show them, like, hey, you guys got lucky that day, you know. Do you know what I'm saying? Same for the Charcoal, but that's where it's got to start from. When they see teams like us and them, and like, we've got Atletico Trotters, you've got Jubilee Sports, you've got all these players in the East.
They're in there,
that are in the Prem. And once we get there, I reckon us filming will then highlight the Prem as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to next season. Because
right now you don't see the Prem teams playing football. We know they're there. We know there's good teams there. We played against them, but no one else does.
Well, they'll see.
You know what I mean? South London's not going to know that. So when we now play them and we recorded it, you guys are going to be like, right, there's actually proper decent team. There's a lot of ex-pro players playing in the East. You know, East London's got a bunch of ex-West Ham, Arsenal, XYZ like players who are like 50 odd. Like, who did we play against? The guy, there was one Arsenal midfielder 2 seasons ago, long hair. We played him in a friendly. And I was attacking mid.
Yeah.
Like, I've still got energy on him. The guy made me feel like I should not be playing no more. Sometimes he was giving it the lip, but all he had to do, and obviously we got football IQ, but you can tell he was an ex-pro. Do you know what I mean? Like, couldn't get near him. Like, if you did, he's getting a foul. And then if he does get the foul, he's in your rear like, you know what I'm saying, kind of thing. So it's like, there's a lot of that people ain't seeing. So it's like, once, like we said, we're filming it. If other teams start filming it, or we build something, remember I told you before from ages ago about building it, having like that kind of thing. So we build that, then I think the more visual it is, the more people are going to be like, I want to get involved. And you know what it's like. It's like anything. The more you see it, the more you're like, oh, cool. I want to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I guess that's what it is. And the older we are, we want our kids to see it. Be like, look what daddy's doing.
Yeah, that's the big thing for me.
Especially if you're good at it. You know what I mean? Like, you say to your kids, I play football. What's your kids going to say? Win.
Yeah.
In dinosaur ages. Like, do you know what I mean? But if you've got a video or link and you say to them, look, have a look.
Yeah.
Like, my daughter watches it all the time. So, there's Uncle. Or, Daddy, you're playing. Or, so like Dwayne, like there's Uncle Dwayne or whoever. Do you know what I mean? So it helps because when they see it, it kind of G's us up. We're like, okay, cool, they're enjoying it. And like I said, they come to watch us play anyway. I mean, so it's standards are brilliant. Let's just put it that way.
Cool. And what's the 2-year objectives, and where can people find you on socials?
Nick, that's your way.
Yeah, 2 years. Hopefully, we'll be Premier League champions. That's the aim. But yeah, hopefully this guy can lead us through it and get some.
If you want me to do a Arteta, I'll say 3-4 years. I'll say now 3 years because that's
Yeah.
our age, but 3 years because
Yeah, it's a
4 years,
big
this
jump.
guy won't have no legs. He won't have no knees, to be fair. But I'll say 3 years, hopefully be up there in the running. And then, yeah, man, just a few more cup finals. You know, get everyone out and get everyone having fun.
Yeah,
and,
we're in a cup final in May.
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
but yeah,
Well, looking forward to the London Cup next year again and battling with the South London teams because, like you said, even though South East, North West, every time we played South London teams, it's just nothing but love after the games. You know what I mean? We all have a good beer together, and it's like I said, even the Santos, they were brilliant. They come in, give us brandy, but you know, like where you're East going to South, is like, oh, what am I going to expect? You know what I mean?
Promo, isn't it? You play Vets football. More of us join in, you get Hennessy and rum. You know, if that don't draw the brothers out, I don't know what I'm doing.
And your socials, how
socials, like you said, we're on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. It's just Summers AFC. So
there you go.
That's all of us.
And guys, let me just say, please, like you have to watch one of their games. Honestly, it is so entertaining, and again, I just want to thank all of you for like representing vets football, and also showing the older generation that this social media thing is just not for the youngers. Like we can still thrive in this generation, and also with our communication skills before the internet, we are actually at an advantage than the kids growing up now. So honestly, I just want to applaud you.
Thanks for your time, man.
You're doing as well, man.
Yeah, like I said, I've been watching your channel for a good couple of years now, man, and it's just very like you highlight Vets football like there's no other person that I know on YouTube that highlights Vets football, which is, you know, once you get that little bit older, you tend to sway that, and it's just that you put some interesting content out.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. So big shout out to Lee, Axe, and Nikki, Summers AFC. Please go and check them out. Thank you to everyone that's been watching live and also on the replay. Please like and subscribe, and we'll be seeing you next week Sunday.
Nice one.